Well, you know, I've been doing bonsai for the last 25 years. And I cannot recall a single day in which I took bonsai very lightly. For me, it's all or nothing. It's always been from the very, very start. When I'm 15, I took my first lesson with Salvatore Liporace. And I don't know what happened, but I just fell in love with bonsai. And this is a kind of love, the only love in my life that actually, you know, really followed me year after year, and in the different shapes and forms really changed my life and it evolved. And but the hunger for knowledge and to, you know, the need to learn more and find out more about this amazing art form never left me. So, you know, I definitely stay hungry for bonsai. Now, someone might say that I also stay very foolish, but that's, you know, that's just within me. But, you know, it's success is when preparation meets opportunity. So I really want to work as hard as I could to prepare myself to be ready, because when the right opportunity comes along, then you have to be ready to you know, to grab it and do your very best. That happened when I enrolled with in the garden of my master Kimura Yakata, or when I did, for example, my first tour in UK invited by Kevin Wilson, or when I worked for amazing guys like Patrizio Fermani, Alfio Suardi, the amazing Jim Graham, or Dave Krutz, the Canon Collection here, Jose Luis Bariños, you know. So it's been quite interesting to see how I've been in love with this art form, and how, you know, bonsai, they took me like in places where I would never thought I would go. Well, you know, I met my master when I was 17, and I remember exactly when I met him for the very last time early this year in February in Japan, and he's exactly the same. I'm still totally starstruck by my master. It's still my idol. It's still my, you know, the most important person I haven't met in my entire life. And I remember back in when I was a teenager, I had this picture in my bedroom wall. Like, you know, I removed all the girls and all the whatever was in the rock stars and everything, and he was my rock star, and he's still my idol. So, and to this very day, I mean, like, sometimes I even shiver when I'm right next to him. I feel that his presence is really has a big influence on me. Like, in a couple of days, I actually have to call him, and I'm like, you know, it's like calling your, you know, the girl that, you know, you're in love with, and you don't know what to say, what is the right word, and well, and if that's also because my Japanese probably is not as good as it used to be, but you know, I still have that kind of feeling for it. Well, the toughest thing for me, considering that I was at my master garden from 97 till 2001, was definitely the fact that I was lonely. You know, it was not the long hours of work. It wasn't the fact that I was, you know, in a different country with people that didn't speak my own language. It's just that I was basically lonely. We're talking about the time where I was lucky if I could get one phone call from my family every 2 weeks. I remember he brought in a lot of handwritten letters to all my friends, and the day that I got my first fax was like, wow, now I can get letters back and forth within like a week, you know. I didn't have a cell phone, of course, and now that I go back to my master every year for a period of, you know, let's say a month, like, the work is exactly the same, the place is exactly the same, nothing has changed except the fact that when I want to reach out to someone, I can do it. But back in the days, I was in my early 20s, and I was just lonely, and that really took a toll on me. You know, I'm a kind of social kind of guy, so I was, that really hurt. So, you know, I remember my very first time off when I was in 98, after 3 months of straight work, 90 days. I said to my master, you know, Oyakata, I really would like to go and climb Mount Fuji, because I heard there are some really cool trees growing on the what is the west side of the mountain. So I took 2 days without knowing anything. I just went there, and with a little guidebook, in Japanese, of course, which is a language that I definitely am unable to read. I found these amazing lodges, and then I went out to find a place to sleep. And at 4 in the morning, I woke up and I walked all the way up to the top, and I saw the sunrise from the very, very top. So, but usually when I had some time off, I would just, you know, rest and do laundry and write letters, and I was, you know, I was cut off from the rest of the world, and I didn't have money to go anywhere. So, but I don't want you to, you know, feel sorry for me. That was fine. It's just that, you know, I didn't know anyone. You know, for the time I was there, I just made some friends that, you know, me at the very, very end. And I actually also, well, now I guess I can say that I had a girlfriend. But apart from the last leg of my stay in Japan, I was basically by myself. I don't know what I'll be able to achieve in my life. I don't know if I'll be able to achieve something greater than have had opportunity to be the 20th disciple of the #1 bonsai master in the world. You know, I don't have a family on my own. I don't have kids, as far as I know. So, except for, you know, except for that, which is like, you know, I'm sure it's every father, every mother can recall that as like the greatest achievement. But I don't have that. So I'm very, very, very proud of these opportunities I was given. And I know that probably I didn't take full advantage of this opportunity. I didn't behave as a good disciple. But that's, you know, there's rooms in life and time in life to make mistakes, and there are also time in life where you ask for forgiveness because you realize you were an idiot, and you're trying to move on and be a better person all the time, because that's what my master does to me. I'm happy when he's with me, and even if he's not, I'm not right next to him. You know, when I worked this tree this morning, I was, you know, I thought about him, and I thought how he would have started, how he would work on it, and that made me happy, and because I would never felt alone, and that's the greatest thing, you know. When you have a master in your life, you never feel alone, and that's I don't know if everybody could say that. Well, you know, the thing is, there are 2 things. First, what I learned from my master that I can use as a bonsai master myself, and another thing is what I can pass on to my students. So I try to teach to my students that bonsai is very much about timing. I guess it's like with women. You know, you gotta do the right thing at the right time. Doing the right thing is just not enough. So it's very, very important to pay very close attention to all the details. Take a minute to think about what you want to do next, which is usually something that it can go, it's a project that it can be like 10 years old, 20 years old, 20 years old long project. And then when you have the project ready, then you go for it. You know, that's something that I consider very, very important. A lot of preparation. Again, preparation. It's very important. And now, what I learned from him as a bonsai master myself is that he trained my brain to learn every single day, which means that at this point, since I left this garden in 2001, I've been able to learn from my own work and from everything I've been surrounded by every single day. So the fact that you never stop learning, that you always have to challenge yourself, that you never have to give up, that's what I learned from my master, from Oyakata, and I think it's great. Well, you know, before I started to do bonsai, I really truly want to become a professional golfer, and the only reason why I wanted to do it is because the same reason why I love bonsai, because it's basically man versus nature. And you are alone with nature, and Mother Nature is much better than you. So you have to work together with nature to get a result. So that's what I would definitely want to become. Nowadays, that I definitely gave up on that idea, also because I tried to hit some balls the other day, and it was like, nah, not for me. I will. Because I have a great passion for movies, and I would love to become a director of photography or a screenwriter. You know, I already wrote a book, and I would definitely get more into that. Yes. Well, you know, I came out with this idea like almost a year ago, because Suzuki-san was about to finish his apprenticeship, and I want to introduce him to the rest of the world, because I think it's absolutely amazing. And it's actually unfair that the son of such a prominent, famous, great bonsai master is so good. It's like, oh man, it's totally unfair. So, but anyway, I love him to death. And so, consider the fact that Oyakata doesn't travel abroad anymore. I was like, why don't we organize an event where we can present school together? Because since I went back to study with my master 2 years ago, I really felt that we are a family, that we are a group, that we work together. They see each other almost every couple of weeks. I mean, I barely see them. I see my fellow, you know, the disciples and my master maybe 2 or 3 times a year, the most. But we have a connection that I think will last forever. So I really want you guys to see them in action. In particular, also Fujikawa never worked in Europe or outside Japan. It's absolutely amazing, and I would like all you guys to see how we work together as a team. So, for example, on Friday, from 9 in the morning, we're going to welcome you all to come and to bring you trees. We'll help you do the final retouching, the final arrangement. We help you set up the show, and we give free advices to the traders and whoever's going to approach us with with questions and stuff. So this is the first time we do it as a team, and I think this is the first time that it's ever been done, that like in a Japanese bonsai school is presented somewhere else in the world at this very high level. So I even though it's been very, very complicated to organize everything, I'm incredibly excited, and I know that Oyakata is very, very proud of us, and he has great expectations, so we better do a good job. So when I left my master garden, and I left, I didn't complete my apprenticeship, and that's also one of the reasons why I realized my mistake later in life, and I going back every year. I've been back for the last 2 years, and I will continue to go back and study with my master for as long as I can. So when I left, I already had people basically waiting for me, because consider that I've been the first one to go there and to study for as long as I study with such an important bonsai master. When I came back, I had a lot of people really waiting for me, and they had me again a lot of great opportunities that I try not miss, and I did my very, very best to not disappoint anyone. There are like, you know, I never turned down a day of work, and I skip a lot of holidays or things that I want to do that I never done before, because I worked so hard for so many continuous months and years in Japan. So I remember working, you know, for Danny Hughes, for Lorenzo Malberti, for, you know, you know, very important people, and I was like so blessed to have been given that opportunity. So I never have a down moment in my life, to be honest, as a bonsai professional. So how did I make money at the beginning? Well, I made sure I got them at the end of the day. Every day I work, I was like, thank you. No, seriously, I tried to work as hard as I could, you know. And sometimes I work for very little money, but work on amazing trees. So first I went for the art, and then money came after. I know it's hard to believe that I did that, but I really did. And nowadays it's very much the same. You know, I'm happy when I work on amazing trees like the one here at the Canna Collection in the United States. So it's if you focus yourself on what you really love, everything else it's gonna come after you. And the other thing is also very important to keep in mind that after working for my master, he even have like one day off every 2 weeks or every week, or having just a better meal, or don't work such long hours. It was already like kind of like a vacation for me. And that's why we train so hard, because then, you know, the life of a professional bonsai artist doesn't seem so tough, you know. So that's how it is.